After Ash defeats Fantina and earning his first badge from the anime follows closely in this timeline, but unfortunately since Ash would have entered the Sky Battle with Staravia and unfortunately also met Spot and his newly evolved Honchkrow here, and this goes closely like in the anime was Staravia evolved into Staraptor here, and earning Ash to have a quick clutch here, and a few days later, even though Ash doesn't have Gliscor in this timeline, he would still have a powerful flying type on his team, meaning that meaning he would still meet Mr. Ken here, and he known as the Air Battle Master here, and even though in this time he would have gladly teach Gliscor, but in this alternative one, he would teach Staraptor here for Ash, meaning Ash has to let Staraptor stay here for a moment, meaning he has one Pokemon out in his team momentarily, but Ash will definitely call Staraptor back in a very important battle. After that, in pretty important episode, Ash will probably meet his next destination gym leader, Canadian Gym, where he will meet where Ash would have met Brian here, and this doesn't change much, but because that Ash's team is significantly much more different in the anime, we might have to get in here much more detailed in this battle. As the gym leader, Brian simply sends out his Brian to battle, and Ash is quite surprised that he also has one. And Ash, being Ash, decided to test out his own setup against the setup as he sends his own Bronzong to battle. Bronzong simply commences with a powerful extra century as its eye simply glows towards Ash's Brian, but Brian simply managed to somehow move out of the way thanks to being executed knowing where it would have attacked and simply lands a powerful heavy slamming all at its way even though it's not much but it's still somewhat damage but even though it's not much because it's a steel type and allowing Bryson's Bronzong to unleashing a powerful flash cannon direct towards Bronzong and leaving as in a is a shit way he needs to really realizing the difference between the two. And Ash quickly realized something. It might be crazy, but it's good enough to try it out. As I simply calls out for a confused ray. As Bronzon's eye simply glows, attempting to confuse the Pokemon, but Bryson simply won't allow this and simply counter this by the extra turn ray, counting the confused ray but quickly realized Bronzong is out of sight, leaving Bryson to look towards the Pokemon. And this is where Ash counters with a powerful Psychic type, and Bryson thinking that Bryson is gonna tackle with its Psychic ability. But to his surprise, Bryson is simply levitating the rocks in the surrounding battlefield and slamming all the rocks toward Bronzong, doing significant damage. But even though it's a steel type, it will resist of the rock throwing a bit, but that's not the point. It allows Ash's Bronzong to have a better advantage with a with a powerful heavy slam and using the momentum towards the sky, adding more weight to it. And since heavy slam gets stronger, the more weight Bronzong puts in, it allows Bronzong to knock out Bryson Bronzong in the fast swoop here, leaving Ash and Bronzong to be victorious here. But unfortunately, Bronzong is simply will be outwitted as Bryson simply sends out his Steelix to battle. And once the battle presents, as Steelix simply charges in with a powerful dig attack as it simply goes in the ground, leaving Bronzong to be confused. But Ash keeps it calm and just sends it with confusion. And unfortunately, it does detect Steelix in the ground, but it's too late. And Steelix it goes up to the air and simply slams its whole body towards it. But this is where Bryson makes a mistake, realizing that it doesn't seem to affect Bronzong yet, and quickly realizes, knowing the species that he wishes that he didn't have the ability of levitate, but unfortunately, Ash's Bronzong simply does, which allows Bronzong to hit it with a heavy slam attack, putting its weight again. But unfortunately, Steelix compared to it is a much more heavy towards it and allows for Steelix to reach a powerful stone edge with a huge rock pillar climbing into itself to ground it, leaving him staggered and Ash quickly needs to figure out what to do. But unfortunately, Brazen simply is shaking too much as Steelix takes the opportunity to use his iron tail slamming against it, and this does seem to knock out Bronson, leaving as no other choice but to return it. Luckily for Ash, Ash doesn't need to think much as he simply sends out for a good counter, sending out Magmar to battle. And unfortunately for Bryce, since isn't completely one side, because Magmar is simply a good counter against Stealing. It tries to use Digger to try to get a surprise attack, but to its dismay, Magmar simply uses Flamethrower into the ground where Steelix has made and managed to catch Steelix, covering it in fire, leaving Steelix to be exposed for a moment and allowing Magmar to use a powerful low sweep here, low kick I mean. And because the move gets stronger if the opponent has more weight towards it, allowing Magmar to do a powerful kicking motion towards Steelix, doing some critical damage towards it, but this doesn't let for the Steel Snake to be shaken off as it simply attempted to use its iron tail to slam against Magma behind it, and does attack him surprisingly, but Magma seems to be too stubborn to be knocked around and simply even catch the iron tail, and this is where Ash simply grants and calls for a powerful flamethrower close range, and unfortunately even the steel blade is much more larger, but unfortunately it's disadvantage because it could not dodge under time of the close range fire flamethrower yet, and simply caught for the second time, leaving Ash to have a second KO here, leaving Bryson one more Pokemon there, which were Bryson sending out his strongest ace to the battle, Bastion down to battle the throwing shield Pokemon here. And this is actually giving Magmar a second thought on how to approach this, but luckily doesn't need to think much as Ash simply grins that even though Magmar didn't took that much damage towards it, the Magmar is still up and running and commanding for a powerful Thunder Punch towards it as Magma simply clenches its fist and attempting to throw a barrage of thunder punches towards the sheer down Pokemon. But unfortunately to Magma, it gets hit more than towards it because Vachuan is naturally much more durable than expected, using its head to pretty much block the attack and actually hurting Magma's fist more than anything here, leaving Ash no other choice but to command for a powerful flamethrower. But that's when Ash has entered his trap as Bryson simply calls for a metal burst, and the target to Ash's surprise, Bastion simply takes the damage, but Summer's still standing. It has to something to do with ability to study. Then Bastion simply launches a powerful metal burst and it does double the damage because of it and allowing Bastion to knock out Magma in one move, leaving Ash to be surprised. But luckily, once Ash returned and quickly noticed Bastion finally took major damage, and Ash has a feeling that if he gets the battle longer than expected, he might actually win it. But it seems to unsure what to do, but luckily he has the next Pokemon ready. Pikachu expected to be sent down, but Ash quickly stops Pikachu for a moment because he wants to try something different here and sending out Grotto to battle. And Bonson thinks that he's going to have a hard time while Grotto is going to make it way worse because the Bastion is already pretty much dead, and Grotto has moves like the Gear Trade to keep it alive. Not to mention, it's a quadruple attack move here of power to make Bastion's stun's job to be even worse. And I don't see Grotto not losing here because its training over the episode has made it way more stronger than Growth in the original year, leaving Ash to be the victor here and earning his sixth badge here, pretty much a victorious win here. And after that battle, Ash would have gotten Gliscor because of it, but since Ash doesn't have Gligar here, But Ash does notice that Magma seems to be a bit frustrated. It simply is hating for the fact that he thought he might reach its limits here, and he kinda hates it. And Magma seems to be more aggressive towards in practice battle. Some of the Ash's Pokemon seems to be fun, but Buizel doesn't like that idea, and he begins to not have a Pokemon battle, but just to have a battle like wild Pokemon. And Ash stops the two from fighting, but Ash can clearly see Magmar is simply upset of something, and Magmar tries to tell its trainer that it wants to get stronger no matter what it takes her, and this gets Gary to make his appearance here, suggesting that Magma wants to evolve here, and this is where Gary would give Magma his item to allow him to evolve here. And Magma pretty much is acting like Gliscor. He immediately wants to evolve, but actually simply stops Magma and grabbing the item from Gary, suggesting Magma still needs to prove himself if he really wants to evolve. And this and Magma simply hates that Ash is doing this, but he's kinda right because if he wants to earn his evolution, he needs to earn it. And this is goes to a close training regimen like in the anime until Team Rocket interrupted, and then Magma grabbed the item, allowing him to have a bigger body to capture Ash easier and saving it, as Magma simply evolves into his final evolution into Magmortar here. At this certain point, I know you guys wanting Ash to get Gable module earlier so that Ash could evolve into Gotcha, but I don't see that happening in this particular what if. For team purposes, that Ash won't catch Gable, heck he won't even capture some of the Pokemon that people would expect Ash at this point. I could see Ash getting a Snow Run, but having another Grass type on his team where he already has a stronger grass type with Rattle. I don't see that happening, and no, I don't see him capturing. And not that hippopotamus ground type Pokemon because it's going to be redundant later. Because when you realize in the original series with Ash's Sinnoh team, most of its Pokemon are really weak to Ice type. So I'm going to avoid it, and you can clearly see what I'm doing with to Ash's team. But this time Ash is going to capture a different Pokemon. And after going towards the next destination and knowing that it's going to be an ice type gym, but it seems like our heroes is simply lost. But unfortunately, Ash got it the worst as he is lost in a snowstorm here and not sure where to go, but luckily a mysterious Pokemon is simply like a phantom guiding Ash towards some sort of exclusive cave to protect him in the storm. And it's revealed that it seems like a Pokemon has saved Ash here, and it seems to be a Frostlass here. It seems like it's saving Ash from the snow here. And Ash thinks it, but quickly realizes there's something wrong towards the cave as a skeleton is simply on the ground, and it seems like Ash not sure why it is a skeleton here, but quickly realized that Frostlass is simply protecting the skeleton from anything towards it, and it also attacks Ash just to stop him from not getting too close from it, and simply also notice the skeleton simply is holding a Pokeball, and Ash quickly realized this Frostlass its trainer is simply had died in the blizzard, leaving Frostlass to be quite helpless, and Ash is quite sorry towards Frostlass. And after this event, Ash accidentally gets Frostlass's trust here, to the point where Frostlass picks up its own Pokeball and presents it to Ash, because Frostlass for a while has accepted its trainer has passed away to the afterlife, and presenting Ash its Pokeball, wanting to journey to continue with a trainer that he could truly trust. And Ash doesn't know how to feel towards it, but Frostlass insists on wanting to join Ash's team, and with a hesitation, Ash simply grabs Frostlass's Pokeball and adds it to his team here, earning his six member, no, seven member to his party. Ash will face Candice in a 3-on-3 battle here, and Karen will simply send out. She will send out Sneasel to battle and leaving Ash to think his few options, but quickly decided to send out his Pikachu here, knowing the Sneasel line seems to be a very fast Pokemon, and Sneasel tries to be a mischievous Pokemon, trying to get Pikachu surprised by with a few Night Slashes and a few times with Ice Punch, but unfortunately Pikachu here is much more faster than Sneasel here, allowing Pikachu to land a few critical Iron Death after Iron Death, but unfortunately it does simply hit towards Sneasel, but it managed to catch it with its claw and unleashing a powerful Night Slash, simply a critical hit, leaving Ash Pikachu in a different situation, and Ash quickly attempted to use quick attack, but quickly realized the battlefield is covered in ice, realizing Ash is thinking his speed advantage would give an advantage, but it's actually giving it the battlefield is giving Pikachu a hard time using its speed, while Sneasel on the other hand is used to this battlefield thanks to being an ice type and allowing it to give the advantage with a few powerful metal class after metal class and increasing its defenses drastically. And once Sneasel seems to get cocky, Candice commands for a powerful Ice Punch, but luckily Pikachu managed to react just fast enough to launch a powerful Volt Tackle and then turn it into another Thunderbolt, cutting Sneasel in the back, leaving Sneasel to be KO'd from here. But unfortunately, once Pikachu finally catches its breath, it quickly realizes its tail is slowly turning into ice and will slowly turn Pikachu's body into ice. And Ash quickly realizes but he has no other choice but to recall Pikachu, attempting the ice to stop momentarily, leaving Candice to grin at this moment and simply sending out a second Pokemon to battle. Sending out her Medicham to battle and on an unexpected fighting that one Ice Gym, but Ash doesn't seem to be affected by this, and noticing Pikachu is really hurting, as Ash decides to send out his psychic Pokemon against a fighting type Bronzong here to battle. Even though on paper Bronzong should be have the advantage, but realizing its psychic wouldn't be helpful because Medicham is partially also psychic type 2, and allowing its psychic abilities much more greater than Bronzong here, and using powerful moves like Focus Bash to get Bronzong knocked off, but unfortunately this also lets Candice to be a bit too cocky here, being the youngest gym leader here in Sinnoh, allowing her to be get off guard by Bronzong's confused ray, as Medicham is confused in the moment, and a few times when it tries to use powerful Ice Punch here, it's also punched itself because the confusion managed to kick in, doing more damage to itself, but luckily Medicham seems to be a much more experienced battler, and it's not easily knocked out and simply hits a powerful force bomb after force bombs, as Bronzong seems to struggle to stand floating, but luckily it managed to hit a powerful heavy slam towards, using all of its body, slamming it to Medicham here. Unfortunately, it does caught the Bronzong here and landing small powerful force bombs towards it. But luckily, Bronzong managed to shake off the fighting type with its confusion here, managed to shake it off, and as quickly as Bronzong will be struggling here, having no other choice but to recall its steel type Pokemon here. Having no other choice and really having no other choices, Ash simply sends out his newest evolution Pokemon here, Magmortar here to battle, and the difference between them is huge staggering between the two. Candice seems to be sweating a bit, but feels confident and commanding for Medicham to use a powerful Ice Punch, while Magmortar uses a powerful Thunder Punch, and the two punching moves collide one another. Magmar has a second hand and are launching a powerful flamethrower was squatted, allowing Magmar to be greatly damaged and attempting to power up by using Calm Mind as Magmortar tried to use its second flamethrower, but Managem seems to take the damage greatly and return with a powerful force bomb, and this time it does stagger Magmortar for a moment and allowing him to hit it with a power for Z headbutt, clashing its head towards Magmortar, but to Candice's surprise, Magmortar take it as a chance and simply use his own headbutt, getting Magma Metacham to be confused for a moment and then giving Ashwa a second try on using Magmortar's newest move here, Rock Slide, as its huge boulder cannon simply shot out huge rocks after rocks here, allowing Metacham to be momentarily flinch and allowing Magmortar to use its flamethrower once again and this time to knock out the fighting Pokemon here, leaving Candice to have one more Pokemon left here, and sending as Candice sends out her Abomasnow, even though Ash is feeling much more cocky, but quickly realizes it's the same situation with Bryson here, not wanting to underestimate it. Ash will take a chance to recall Magma dismay, but has to listen to its trainer and simply sends our Bronson to better wanting a second chance here on trying to do something here, and Bronson seems to gladly take the opportunity to finally showcase as Abomasnow's move could not affect Bronson even the slightest because of being an ice and a grass type. Its move simply could not harm Bronson here, but with its experience over the years does get Bronson to be a lower health, and Bronson is simply too tired of being the weakest member of Ash's party and pretty much forces itself to evolve into its new evolution counterpart here. Its new evolution Bronzong here, and with its new greater power and its newest move Psychic here, it allows Bronzong to finish off Abomasnow here. And Ash quickly realizes none of his Pokemon got knocked out, which leaves Ash realizing that he's getting much stronger, and quickly realizes that maybe he could finally battle and win against Paul. And speaking of the devil himself, as Paul has entered the gym leader unexpectedly way behind Ash than he thought he would. And this is where we're gonna end the episode here.